Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. Ledger has recently announced the launch of their Ledger crypto wallets in a series of brand new colors. I myself use Ledger and have been using them for a number of years. I have a number of Ledgers myself because I find them to be easy and simple to use. While I do not work for Ledger, I am an affiliate. And I have an affiliate link in the description below for those of you who are looking to secure your cryptocurrencies. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. In a news story that I like to call, sure, why not? Sure. The U.S. Commodities Futures Trading Commission, or the CFTC, the commissioner of the CFTC is called Caroline Pham. That is not F-A-M like family, it is P-H-A-M. While appearing on Bloomberg Markets The Close, stated that recent court decisions would provide much-needed clarity for cryptocurrency regulation. Notably, the ripple effect of the significant court ruling in favor of Ripple will set the stage for much more refined rules within the cryptocurrency space. I don't know why. Recently, the CFTC has been more prominently in the news. This is probably a word that very few of you have heard, if ever, or very rarely. The CFTC is like the commodities equivalent of the SEC, and the thing that we've been hearing for a while in the background or even in the forefront is that apparently no one likes the SEC. No one in finance, no one in anything. And a lot of people allegedly don't like Gary Gensler as well, the head of the SEC. We've gotten this news from a plethora of news sources, and mainly also within the cryptocurrency space news, that a lot of people have been saying he needs to be fired or replaced or what have you. On the other hand, the CFTC, who regulates commodities such as gold and soybeans and yada yada, stated a while ago that they wanted to oversee the cryptocurrency space. Does this news sound familiar? Of course it does. For those of you who were here years ago and also earlier in this week, we had news from two, I believe it was U.S. senators who are trying to put forth a bill that would actually allow the CFTC to be able to completely oversee the cryptocurrency market within the United States. Whether this can or will happen, I'm not going to hold my breath simply because we've seen how things have played out before. But there are a large number of people who believe that the SEC losing the portion of the lawsuit against Ripple actually sets the stage for I don't know why everyone's so brave now and has digital courage, but everyone is expecting kind of a regulatory push at the exact same time that would essentially push the SEC away from what they're trying to do or the powers that they think that they should have. Last year, Pham, P-H-A-M, predicted that clarity around defining what constitutes a security would emerge from the courts, and it has. Speaking recently, she noted that her prediction had come to fruition following several key court opinions. Among the landmark decisions was the recent ruling where Judge Annalisa Torres of the Southern District of New York adjudicated that Ripple's XRP did not qualify as a security when sold to retail investors on digital asset exchanges. The ruling did not sit well with the head of the SEC, Gary Gensler, who expressed his disappointment. Despite Gensler's, and I mean disappointed at what exactly? Like what? The fact that people figured out that you were a monster? The fact that this judge who had 500 court cases said something that you could not say over the course of the last 7 years? That this woman sat on the court and gave cryptocurrency regulations when you have an entire gigantic building of people who refuse to give regulations for a market where literally the largest companies have been begging for regulations. What exactly are you disappointed at? Despite Gensler's previously implied notion that all digital assets except for Bitcoin were securities, which is also, I wonder what was going on there. The SEC has not explicitly confirmed this position. Gensler, however, vowed to continue enforcement actions even following Ripple's recent victory. If we live in a world where the US CFTC can control crypto, we are going to see gigantic pumps in price. This is not a maybe if, no, it's if they take over, we are going to see the optimism flow back into the space even more than it already currently is right now. I find it very interesting. Once again, this digital courage. I don't know why how do I even say this in the proper way? Whatever. I'll skip over that. Don't even worry about what I was going to say. It was something completely insane. It's more of a I like that we're having this discussion again. I hope that it happens quickly. If someone can push through a bill very, very fast to make sure that cryptocurrencies and products related to them are regulated to actually better serve the US public so that people are aware of what they're getting into. What country was that I think it was somewhere in Southeast Asia, for those of you who missed it. I was flabbergasted. Like, I could not believe it. There was a country somewhere who, on the day of saying that cryptocurrencies were legal, their SEC actually posted something on their website, that is to say the Asian country SEC, where they basically had a thing that allowed you to learn about cryptocurrencies before you bought them. It wasn't demonizing them. It wasn't saying that they were terrible or horrible or you should never get into them. They explained what Bitcoin was, what blockchain was, how cryptocurrencies worked, what was legal within the country. If you wanted to use them, here's what you can do. And at the bottom, it said, please understand, we did not create these and therefore we cannot keep up the value of them. So you may lose your money. That's all people really need to know. And if you get into any kind of product, once again, that says that we guarantee you 45% on your money, that has to be regulated. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the logic of just simply being able to tell your citizens what they, what? Anyway, that's the everyone's talking about the CFTC at this point in time news. If it ends up working out, thumbs up. But I'm not expecting it because I'm expecting Mr. Gensler. Have you ever played Final Fantasy? You know how like when you're fighting the boss and you're like, oh gosh, I won. And then they go into their second form and then like they start attaching like metal to their bodies and you're like, oh my gosh. And then you finally beat that one and then they become like a gigantic dragon. This is where I think we currently are. I'm expecting Mega Gensler to kind of appear relatively soon. That's the CFTC news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in what news? Indonesia's new crypto exchange and clearinghouse for crypto exchanges, for cryptocurrencies, has finally launched operational. What? Okay, yeah, okay, I see it now. It's weird. Anyway, is operational after multiple delays, according to a Thursday announcement from the country's commodities regulator. The government had initially planned to start operations on their own cryptocurrency exchange by the end of 2021, but subsequent delays, the most recent one in February, saw the launch being pushed back. The long-awaited market has been operational since the 17th of July. I assume that's when we haven't heard about it because we're not in Indonesia. According to the announcement, a large number of countries years ago announced that they would be creating their own cryptocurrency exchanges. Nearly all of them didn't. I think this was a really weird knee-jerk reaction to the 2017-2018 collapse in the cryptocurrency markets. And a lot of countries came forward not only talking about regulating, but banning cryptocurrencies. This is why we have a large number of Southeast Asian countries who have either banned crypto or have announced that only a select few cryptocurrencies are allowed within their borders. The idea of a country having their own cryptocurrency exchange is a rusty, double-edged digital sword in some sort of way, in that it's not a ban, but the regulation is going to be far heavier and more heavy-handed than probably should be the case, in that these countries kind of want you to only use their platform. They're under the idea that if you are going to be using crypto and buying crypto, it should only be through their platform. Anything else just doesn't make a lot of sense to them. And you basically would hold it on the exchange as if it were a bank account. And if you move it off of the account of the crypto exchange, basically they would know which wallet address it went to because it was associated with your name and your ID. So it's once again, double-edged. They didn't ban it. It's legal, but it's also like it's all done because of control. And the idea of any other crypto exchange being active in their country, they don't really want it because they want all of the transaction fees and everything else to go through them. Remember, we had news at the beginning of this year, or maybe, anyway, sometime this year, that I think Binance had made billions, with a B, of dollars just from transaction fees. Same exact thing with Coinbase and all the other exchanges. So you would assume, as a country, you're like, okay, that's great. Let's make our own, funnel people into our own system so that when the billions are made, it's made by the government by themselves. The platform is more like a traditional securities market, the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, etc., than newfangled crypto exchanges like Binance or Coinbase, given that it is government approved. They said the establishment of exchanges, clearinghouses, and managers of crypto asset storage is proof that the government is present in an effort to create a fair, wink, and fair crypto asset trading ecosystem to guarantee legal certainty and prioritize protection for the public as customers. This was said by the head of their Commodities Futures Association. So cool. This is more of another country said that they were going to do it, and they did it. Here's the actual information from their website. I cannot read this, but I like to always show you the things that I've found. They have a little section here where you can even like scroll down. I still can't read it, but it was the thing that was linked to it, so I assume it has to do with it. Okay, just scrolling by. Yeah, so very good news. It has the words Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Oh, and even Binance Coin. That's actually quite interesting. That's another like follow the money kind of thing. Tether is also there as well, but Tether is stable coin. So I wonder if anyone can read this, Indonesian, if these are the only 4 coins that are actually allowed within the government's crypto exchange, because that becomes a very clear indication of as to where the money is going to be flowing within that country. Yeah, that's the Indonesia has launched their own crypto exchange and clearinghouse news. Very fascinating times ahead, because keeping in mind, a lot of the news that we're getting now, that we're going over, we did not have in 2020 or 2021. We didn't have like proper frameworks from countries back in 2016, 2017. I wonder what the next bull run is going to be like, simply because the infrastructure is there. This is no longer hoping that Coinbase and Binance build it up. It's now governments and countries and BlackRocks building it up as well. That's the Indonesian news. Wow, it is raining. You can't hear that? That sounds terrible outside. Jeez Louise, that sounds absolutely horrible. And yeah, Let's move on. Next up in, sure, why not? Ripple is teaming up with a Northern European-based research and development firm to run experiments centered on crypto assets and central bank digital currencies. In a new company blog post, Ripple says it will be collaborating with something they're called Super How. It's literally super and then how, a private blockchain technology research lab based in Latvia, to work on the Axiology project, a tokenized security and settlement infrastructure built on top of the XRP Ledger. That's crazy. This hasn't been spoken about for years. One of the other ideas for the XRP Ledger, the XRP blockchain years ago, was being able to use it as an actual platform for banks and institutions as well. So like, you know how you have XRP and then banks can use XRP, cool. But if you have another platform like a side chain, a federated side chain, or like another layered solution around the actual XRP blockchain, and you made it exclusively for securities that can be tokenized and or digitized, and that became the place that governments, so like if you don't feel comfortable enough with using XRP, that is to say the coin directly, you could use this other thing to launch your securities on top of it. But because it's all on top of the XRP blockchain, every time a transaction happens, it's still using and burning XRP behind the scenes. This hasn't been spoken about for years. This was like another, use case kind of thing that was going on. Hold on. Okay, I had to move the curtain because I wanted to see how rainy it was. It's pretty. I could hear it. I was like, but I can't see it. So I moved the curtain. It's rain like I heard. They said, and I quote, Ripple and Super How, with the question mark, have embarked on an ambitious collaboration known as the Axiology project. This collaboration serves as a catalyst for testing and issuing digital assets, including central bank digital currencies and stablecoins, to bolster regulators' confidence in the safety and security of these transformative digital assets. We've had news for a couple of months now that even before the XRP ruling happened, that apparently Ripple, the company, was working with a large number of banks and institutions around the world to actually help them create stable coins that would be on top of the XRP blockchain. And then we also, I didn't even think they were rumors, like they actually are working with a couple of world governments to help them develop their central bank digital currencies and launch their testnet on top of the XRP Ledger as well. So many things are going on. Axiology, they said, is a tokenized securities trading and settlement system, DLT TSS infrastructure. This infrastructure enables multiple layers of the current capital market infrastructures to coexist on one technology layer, leading to multiple synergies, process efficiencies, and new business models. And it keeps going on. There's a lot to read. It's just far too much going on. If all of these things end up happening, here's the actual website right here, like the actual Ripple website where they have the article for this thing that we were just talking about. If all of these things end up happening, I think this will be a question in my mind until we get an actual answer for it, as exactly how high this coin is going to go. I'm expecting crazy things for this coin's price. Like, the only thing that was really, I think, holding it down was the SEC lawsuit. It's just so many, like, the prospectus of exactly how high this could all go over the course of especially the next 2 years when we get to that euphoric phase. Quite fascinating indeed. So this is another company that Ripple is working with. They have at least 3 or 4 different companies and governments who they're working with right now to help them build central bank digital currencies on top of their platform. Like, it's one thing for a government to want to build a digital currency, but for them to do it on top of the XRP blockchain is like a bit insane. Like, if you don't understand the actual weight of that, then I literally can't help you. Like, you should be able to visualize that. That's the Ripple is working again with another company on central bank digital currencies. And yeah, let's move on. Also, this should have been bigger news. I don't know how this didn't really make news anywhere. No one was talking about this. Binance has successfully integrated the Lightning Network. Yeah, enabling faster and more efficient transactions. It says, as of today, users can now deposit and withdraw Bitcoin using the Lightning Network on Binance's platform. The last couple of months have been a bit odd for Bitcoin. At the beginning of the year, we found out or heard or were told that Bitcoin now has NFTs. They're called ordinals, yada, yada, yada. However, these NFTs are actually written directly on a Satoshi. So as these transactions are happening, they're splitting apart whole pieces of Bitcoin, essentially, and people are making NFTs and things on top of them. If you missed that other news story, people are also looking for Satoshis now that have NFTs on them and that are old. That is to say, like from 2011, 2012, Satoshi era. And they're selling for like $50,000 because I think that's just simply where we are as a society right now. But Bitcoin has had a very difficult time because of the amount of transactions that it's actually that it has backlogged at the moment. Even a couple of days ago, I was showing you at the end of one of the videos, I think Bitcoin had like 170,000. Think of that. 170,000 transactions that were backlogged. And it's mainly because of the NFTs. The Lightning Network was proposed. The Lightning Network is basically supposed to be Polygon, but it doesn't do what Polygon does. So around 2019, there were a number of larger companies and institutions who announced that they were going to be getting into the Bitcoin cryptocurrency space. This is around the time when we heard that Starbucks and Nordstrom and Home Depot, not joking, would all be accepting Bitcoin. And then that kind of disappeared. That news completely went away. I don't know if it's because of Coco Roro or if it's because like they couldn't find out a feasible way to be able to do it. So people began to at that time build up the Lightning Network in anticipation of companies kind of rushing into the space. But now we're at a point where Bitcoin's price at the moment isn't really moving that insanely. It's not doing a spectacular amount of things. And we have 175,000 transactions that are backlogged. What would happen if tomorrow Bitcoin begins to rush up to $50,000? A lot of people would begin to buy it. We then have a situation where we have 500,000 transactions backed up on the blockchain. You can't have that because when we did have that before, back in good old 2017, Bitcoin's transaction fees went from 1 cent to 10 cents to 50 cents to $1, which everyone was like, whoa, a whole dollar. The most I ever paid for a Bitcoin transaction fee was $28. It didn't feel nice. It was actually quite terrible. So we need, in essence, the Lightning Network, and I don't know the capacity of it as far as I'm sure there's a genius somewhere out there listening to this. Can you send NFT, that is to say the Bitcoin ordinal transactions, through the Lightning Network? I ask because it is essentially a Satoshi that is being sent. Can you simply send that one Satoshi, or is it like an OpenSea kind of thing where you have to have a platform to send that Satoshi, essentially, and you have to pay a network fee on top of that to be able to send it? I feel like it's more so the second one. But the way to get around it is by using the Lightning Network. So I assumed that the largest crypto exchange on the planet announcing that they had fully integrated the Lightning Network, the Polygon of Bitcoin. The Lightning Network, apparently, for those of you who don't know the lore, is that at near full capacity, we would be able to have 1 million, you did not hear that incorrectly, 1 million transactions per second on Bitcoin. That's why I've been so confused as to why the last couple of years, these, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, why they weren't building it out. I had assumed they would have done it before, so we would not have to go through all of this, but someone had to invent Bitcoin NFTs to make the network go slower. And now we're here. The integration of Bitcoin on the Lightning Network marks a significant milestone for Binance as it aims to enhance the speed and scalability of Bitcoin transactions. By leveraging the Lightning Network, Binance aims to address the scalability challenges associated with Bitcoin, allowing users to enjoy faster and cheaper transactions. Previously, Binance had experienced issues in high-fee environments, most recently highlighted when Bitcoin got NFTs. With the Lightning Network, Binance users can take advantage of the Lightning Network's off-chain payment system to send and receive Bitcoin transactions with reduced fees and faster settlement times. Apparently, I think Lightning is instantaneous, thus the word Lightning. I think it's meant to be, it happens instantaneously. And from what I heard back in the long ago is that network fees are meant to be 1 Satoshi as well. So yeah, I had assumed this would have made larger news. Nope, people were barely talking about it. Maybe at some point somebody was like, oh, that sounds cool. I never know why when we get the good news, people just don't pay attention to it. But hopefully this does something in that maybe other exchanges will follow suit. Maybe Lightning becomes the de facto. For those of you who don't know, here's a really old story. This was even, I think Jack Dorsey and Andreas Antonopoulos used to say this. Someone said it. One of the higher ups, one of the higher Bitcoin maxis said it. The idea is that Bitcoin's main chain as it stands right now will never be upgraded. So there will be updates and upgrades to other things on the system. But Bitcoin's main core will probably, for as long as we know, only be capable of doing 3 to 5 transactions per second. The idea is that it's a slow horse, but it keeps on going. Has no downtime, hasn't broken, and that's because the system that is currently in place works. So in the future, the idea is that if you want to send money, let's say you're sending your friend $15, you would use Lightning. You want to buy a piece of gum, you use Lightning. You want to get some coffee from Starbucks, you use Lightning. However, if you want to send $500,000 and make sure that the transaction is 1,000% secure, you would use the actual Bitcoin main chain going around Lightning. So even if your transaction fee was $28, you would be assured that it would definitely get there. This is kind of one of the main ideas. It's more for like larger transactions if you want to put it that way. So yeah, Binance has officially integrated Lightning. No news yet on other crypto exchanges doing it, but someone out there must be trying to implement this as well. That's the Binance Lightning Network news. And yeah, let's move on. Also you know what? Sure, why not? Hong Kong's McDonald's, that is to say McDonald's in Hong Kong, has apparently launched a partnership with the Sandbox. The Sandbox being the first or second largest metaverse that we have within the cryptocurrency space. They've launched McNuggets Land. Yeah, I'm not joking. You know, like Chicken McNuggets, but they made a world with those. An immersive Web3 experience to commemorate the 40th anniversary of those. Yay! The virtual world offers users an immersive journey through a hidden factory and an historical tour of the popular chicken snack. Wow. McNuggets Land also offers quests and challenges to gamers that stand to win the Sandbox utility token. So you can win sand by fighting McNuggets. I'm not really sure. These tokens can be utilized to purchase virtual goods and customize avatars within the platform. Moreover, users from Hong Kong have the opportunity to win 360. Oh, that sounds gross. Have the opportunity to win 365-day free chicken nugget coupons. 300. Can you imagine 365 days? I'm okay. I think there was. So here's like a little like video image of it. It looks cute. it looks cuter than I thought it was going to be. One of them has a beard and like a headband and apparently a microphone. I don't know. I don't think they can talk, but maybe they do. What's that? Despicable Me. Maybe they do like me, like little weird noises or something. But I don't think I want to find out. I don't think I ever want a situation where I have a chicken nugget and it's like talking to me. I don't think I'm up for that. So yeah, for those of you who weren't here last year, for some reason, every week we had a new company announcing that they were going to be partnering with a Sandbox or Decentraland to launch something in their metaverse. And it was like, it ranged from Nike making new shoes and Takashi Murakami making like monster people with colors coming out of their face, to Snoop Dogg making a house party that apparently had digital puff, which makes no sense to me, but I'm sure someone had fun when they were there. So maybe is this the new beginning of companies once again launching things with the Sandbox? Because I don't know. Listen, if at any point in the future we're able to buy that Apple Vision headset and I can put it on and they have like an app for Sandbox, we can all go party there. Like I'm totally serious. Like the first day that that's possible, that there's like an app that we can open up on the Apple Vision, we can all go to Chicken McNuggets land and we can just have fun the whole day. I don't know what we would do there, but I assume it looks very Super Mario-y. Kind of. I don't know. Anyway, that was a weird story. I do hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.